Hey guys, Tina here and welcome to my October book haul. I have quite a few books to get through today, so I'm just gonna do that because for some silly reason I'm actually holding them in my arm and they're heavy. But yeah, that's just me today. I'm silly. So the first book that I have here is A Raven Cry by Ag McDonald. This is book 2 in the Blackwing series, which is a fantasy series about this world that is sort of divided into different kingdoms, and between this Warring Kingdoms is this huge land that it's very dangerous to be in, and in this land there's this machine that is the only reason why the kingdoms are actually not fighting, because it's sort of keeping the enemies away. And in book 1 we figure out that it's not actually necessarily working properly, and there's problems, of course. And I really enjoyed the first book. This one came out in July and I bought it, and I didn't receive it until now because, I don't know, Book Depository. I'm not sure where they shipped it off, the first copy, but this one is finally here and I can read it. I actually have an ARC, but I thought that, you know, I'm just going to read this version of it because I do prefer it to reading on my Kindle, but yeah, I couldn't do it until now. And of course I'm going to get to it now because I do want to see what happens. Then I have, what is it called? Fire Falling by Elise Coe, which is book 2 in the Air Awakens. I think there's 5 books, a series. And in this one we follow, in the first book, which is Air Awakens, we follow a girl who is a librarian, and she has been taught throughout her life that magic is bad, and of course she tries to avoid it, but then she also realizes that she can be a magician if she wants to, and she sort of has to figure out which path to take. And soon things are sort of taken out of her hands, and the decision is made. And I really like the first book, so I want to continue on with the series, which is why I have this one here. I'm going to be really fast about it. I think so. Then I have a book that I already read, and that is Just One Damn Thing After Another by Jodi Taylor, which is a series about this woman who joins this institute that is involved in time travel, and since she's a historian, she's definitely interested in that. And we see her travel to different time periods, and there's also always some kind of mayhem and just catastrophe following in her wake. And as a historian, she's supposed to sort of only watch but not get involved in anything, and doesn't always work like that. But yeah, it was an enjoyable read. This is, as far as right now, a 9-book series, and I definitely enjoyed it, and I will pick up the sequel. But it's also a series in which I don't feel like I need to get to the sequel right away, so I'm not sure exactly when I'm gonna do that actually, but I really enjoyed this one. Then I have a book that I already own, but I'm gonna, you know, I sold the other copy, so I'm just gonna, because, well, it's a cover buy, let's just be honest, and that is The Angel of Darkness by Caleb Carr, which is a book that I really loved. The first book in the series is called The Alienist, and you have also a Netflix, well, there's a show on Netflix. I'm not sure where it officially showed, but here. It's a series about a group of people that sort of try to solve murders in the late 1800s, early 20th century, and it takes place in New York, and there's a lot of historical elements that I just adored. I love the characters. These books can actually, if you just read them, I think I actually listened to them, and I really like the narrator, but if I read them, I think they're pretty dense, so it would take me a while to get through them. But I just really love the atmosphere. I love everything about them, so I do recommend them. This one specifically deals with this woman killing children, and they're trying to figure out why she does that and how to actually get to them, because there's this gang element as well, so you know, she's not easy enough to catch, so they have to work at it quite a bit, and I really enjoyed it, so of course I wanted to get that book. And then I have 2 books that I bought because I received a gift card, and they're books 2 and 3 in a series, and of course I haven't even read the first one, so we all know how that is. And the first one is King of Thorns by Mark Lawrence, which follows Prince of Thorns, which, from what I know about it, this is obviously a fantasy series, but from what I know about it, the main protagonist is pretty evil. He basically rapes women and stuff like that, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna like that, but I really liked his Red Sister, and I just decided to give the series a try as well at some point, and whenever that point comes, I will have the whole series at my disposal. So obviously then I have also book 3, that it's Emperor of Thorns, sorry, I'm a mess today, which, you know, it goes without saying that I have no clue what it's about because I just told you that. Then I have a book that it's, I think, sort of like a reference book for getting your shit together, about, you know, personal growth and things like that, and it's by Amy Cuddy, which for some reason is a name that I should know, I feel like. And it's called Prisotnos, so basically it's called Presents. I'm actually not sure what the official English title is, but let me check. And again, I have no clue what it's about. But, where's Presents, yes. Well, at least good at translating things. But yeah, when I get to it, I will let you know if it's any good. And then I have some classics because I do sort of feel the need to have them, and I do want to get to them. But there's so many books I want to read, and I cannot get to them at the same time, and it's just annoying because there's never enough time to read all of them. But the first is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, which is a book that I've already read a few times, and I have another copy. I have the movie tie-in with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden, but since I like these English Penguin English Library editions, I decided to get it in this one as well, and I will be reading it because I really want to get to Jane Austen. Then I have North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Years back I watched a TV series based on this book, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to see if I like the book as well. This is, what is it about? Basically it's about, actually I don't know anymore. There's this factory that is doing something, I don't know, just that in industrialization time period. It takes place in the north of England, I think, and there were riots, I think. I'm really confused. I remember the TV show, but not quite that well apparently anymore. But anyways, it's a classic. I want to get to it eventually. Then I have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which I've never read. So here's my chance, and it's a really tiny one, and I do want to get to it because I know sort of the premise of Frankenstein, although I'm not sure when is the last time that I watched it on TV. But I've never read it, obviously, so I can now rectify that. And then I have 2 more books, which is, wow, that was, I feel like I talked too fast. I know, I'm sorry for that. I will try to do better in my videos in the future, but sometimes I'm just terrible. And then I have A Snapshot by Brandon Sanderson, which is a short novella about 2 detectives, and that's basically all I know. I don't know, I've saw it on Book Depository and I never read it, and I don't think it's not part of his Cosmere or anything, but I just like it in this edition because it's the English edition, and of course I wanted to get it, and I will read it because soon, it's what I meant to say, soon, but then again, that's what I think about all of the books, even though I'm pretty sure that for the next few months are sort of full already with, you know, with the books that I have to read or feel like I have to read. So yeah, it's not gonna happen soon probably, except if I squeeze them in somehow. And then the last book that I have here, I think it's, I don't know, maybe it's the last book in the series or not. I'm not sure if it's a trilogy or if there's gonna be more books, but it's Arabella, the Traitor of Mars. Arabella, the Traitor of Mars, which is book 3 in Arabella Ashby series by David D. Levine. And as I said, I'm not sure if this is the last one or not. And I also don't know what it is about. So I can tell you what the first book is about. It's about Arabella, who lives on Mars. We have conquered our solar system, obviously. It's sort of like an alternate history type of book. And she's sort of tomboyish, so her mother decides to take her to London to turn her into a proper lady. And while they're gone, her father gets killed, and Arabella decides to go back to Mars so she can see what's going on. And of course there's adventure and mayhem and just chaos. And I really liked the first book. The second I did enjoy as well, but not quite as much as the first one, and I cannot wait to pick this one up. Again, not sure when that's going to be, but hopefully soon. It's a really fun series. Arabella is very headstrong and very tough, and just the kind of heroine that I like to read about. So I do recommend these books, and yeah, the covers are also very gorgeous. This is the type of ships that they travel in, because there's, I don't know, ether in the air, and you know, they don't need rocket ships or anything like that. So yeah. And that's basically it for this book haul. Hopefully you found something for yourself here that you can pick up. And until my next book haul, go enjoy some of my other videos if you want to do that. And thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next one. Bye!